What things probably won't exist in 25 years? Large swaths of the internet. Archive while you can, folks. Whoever once said the internet was forever never really cared about niche content. Now my uncle with a basement full of array of hard disks makes sense in a way. I really hope he isn't hoarding some kind of weird porn. Yep. Do your bit. People, help archive and preserve the internet. For both reference and historical purposes. Please also donate to this website. It's as valuable and important as Wikipedia, if not more. The Rolling Stones. I don't think Keith Richards has been really alive for quite some time. Just a walking guitar playing zombie. No, Keith is going to outlive all of us. When the aliens show up in 1,000 years to investigate what's left of a world devastated by nuclear apocalypse, he'll be the one who tells a Martell he's fueled by whiskey, tobacco and heroin, or Axe/DC. Makes me sad. All the founding members of Motorhead are already gone. Puts things into perspective. Cable television. It's being replaced by internet television and the shitty ads will come back, and the price will skyrocket, and the bundles will bundle. We already have multiple paid streaming services with ads, and I continue to refuse to fund them. But people evidently don't care. Way too many people willing to pay for 6 streaming services, and 3 of them have ads. The streaming service are creating a situation where certain shows are only available on their service. Eventually, the ghost of cable television will re-emerge and bundle the services and sell them as one. They sort of already are at this point. You can get Disney Plus and ESPN as extras with Hulu. WWI veterans and Holocaust survivors. I remember, as a kid in like 1990 or 91 I knew a WWI get. There are none of them left now. Yeah, I definitely remember meeting some WWI vets at random family functions in the 80s. Not many though. Maybe 2 I think. When I think elderly men my mind still automatically goes to WWI vet. Then I remind myself this isn't the 90s/early 2000s anymore. I still think of the Vietnam vets as the middle-aged guys. Now they're the elderly. Probably within this decade there'll be a headline saying last WWI vet dies. I remember reading a headline about the last World War I vet dying over a decade ago. Both of my grandfathers were WWI vets. They were both in their 30s when the war ended, and they both died in 1994. Time is flying. Trustworthy video evidence. This is a great one. I just recently saw a video on deepfakes. It's scary to think how fast that technology is advancing. Also great name BTW. For a while, yes, it will give rise to demand for countermeasures, and countermeasures they will deliver. Humans have always been best at selling solutions to problems they themselves created. Thanks, it was my dog's name. He was the best big guy. Same question in 1996. Answers. Those commercials advertising compilation CDs of like 15 classic rock songs, or whatever, with the scrolling song list playing a snippet of like every 4th song. Now that's what I call music. Volume 20,376. Is that freedom rock? Well, turn it up. Payphone. A positive one. The hole in the ozone layer. In 1996 it was just starting to stabilize, and has since become smaller than it was when we first discovered it in 1982. Being able to go through security at the airport, even though you weren't flying. I remember a teacher's assistant telling a story about when she was younger. She was a bookkeeper for the Playboy Club. Did something in DC with presidents, but she was telling me about how before 9/11 you were able to go into the White House and use the drinking fountain. In 2000, I went through security with my pocket knife, and being the dumb kid I was, thought I was going to get in trouble. They just measured the blade, gave it back, and let me through. God, this just made me realize that the year 2046 is nearer than 1996. If it makes you feel any better, I was born closer to the end of the First World War than to the year 2021, and I'm only in my 50s. Video rental stores and music retailers in major cities, not including independent record stores or stores that sell more than just CDs and DVDs. I'm not sure if we had any reason in 1996 to believe they wouldn't though. The internet was in its infancy, and if I told someone they could eventually watch a movie on it, They would have thought me insane. You gotta remember back then it took minutes to load a picture. The internet, it's just a passing fad. Lol. Australia had a prime minister who said that in 2013, answering machines, fax machines, landline phones, floppy disks, if only fax machines would actually die out. Hospitals still, ridiculously, use fax machines. Thankfully the hospital I work with recently, like 2020 recently, switched to email. Well, someone has probably said this already, but newspapers, not many people buy them these days. Strange thing, my last company has a wealthy client buying up newspapers. Think he owns 8 now, kept them in business, and kept them profitable. No idea how he does that. Targeted at revenue and creative accounting to conceal the real income stream. GTA 6. To go along with this, the 25th iteration of this box without a GTA 5 remaster. Don't forget Platinum Golden Anniversary Remastered Ultra Graphic VR Smell-O-Vision Skyrim. My stamina. Must be nice having stamina. I hate having low constitution / vitality. Made a bad build early on by dumping everything into spirit and now I can't afford a respec. Human cashiers at grocery stores. Please place your extra small condoms in the bagging area. It'll all be mice. Instead of sighing at the 90th it doesn't scan, so it must be free, right? Haha, joke like their human counterparts. They're gonna sigh at the 90th hello, nice to see you, joke. I'm hoping a new system is developed that totals it up as you add it to your cart then charges your account as you walk out the store. Never wait in that line again. Meecha has a shop and scan. Scan it to your phone and scan a checkout quarter at the self-service register. Pay and leave. It keeps a running total for you. Pulls up coupons that apply. All very good. Only downside every once in a while it makes a cashier scan few items to verify your honesty. I get it. You can't trust the public. So all in all fast and convenient. Amazon already has stores like that. That position cold been long eliminated by now. But technology isn't perfect and apparently human emotion is still considered an important feature, and you need someone to verify IDs for alcohol. I know that can be solved with technology, but that doesn't mean the laws will be updated to allow it. Also, you still need some humans there to help out with the machines and make sure people aren't stealing or vandalizing the store. Also, human cashiers are way faster than self-checkout, so some stores won't want to dedicate the necessary floor space to have enough machines to make up for the slower throughput. Telephones, payphones. Don't even remember the last time I saw a payphone. I had to take a picture of a derelict payphone box. It was atmospheric. Apple's fancy charging adapters. It might happen sooner than you think. The EU just mandated a single standardized smartphone charger. Android already changed to the industry-neutral USB-C adapter. But it looks like Apple will have to do this too. Now, my wife has a new iPad Air. It came with a USB-C charger. Pleasantly surprised. Only if the phone uses wired charging. If it's wireless charging with no port they wouldn't need to fit one. I'm sure I know what Apple are rushing to develop right now. Privacy in our digital life. This has been way gone. It's the most concerning one. The prevalence of digital ID and shadow profiles is so concerning with how lax privacy is. Oh no. It can get far more gone than this. We consumers are still allowed to use encryption and create accounts without an ID. That's already gone. Me. By way of explanation, I'm 64 now. No male on either side of my family tree has ever made it to 89. Ergo, I have reason to believe I won't either. Sounds like I'd better take up skydiving while I still can. Wish you well, Bob. Hope the years are good to yap. There's a first time for everything, old Bob. Hope the next 25 years are happy ones. You'll live forever on here. I believe in you. Bob / Raymond 25 years. Live your best life, man. Hope the years treat you, Bob. Have fun skydiving. Ozzy Osbourne point maybe. I mean he's lasted this long. So it'll be interesting to see what takes him in the end. Now he has Parkinson's disease so probably start going downhill now. Jude is going to outlive cockroaches. I have this working theory that as of 2021 the singer Elvis is just starting to be culturally forgotten. When I was younger I used to see Elvis references every now and again. He was pretty huge I guess. Even though he was way before my time. Now I swear it has been years since I've heard or seen him referenced. To test this theory I ask people if they remember Elvis, and I get the total oh yay. Elvis that you might get from some obscure show from the 90s. Not so fast. Warner Brothers are making a Elvis musical biopic set for a 2022 release. It'll be fascinating to see if it will garner the same renewed interest in him like the movies for Queen and Elton John did for them, or if it's a little too late to have the same effect for newer generations who watch older Disney movies. Lilo and Stitch will probably still introduce him to a lot of people, especially considering Disney still capitalizes on that franchise a ton through merch and their theme parks, and a live-action remake is possible. Also, I feel old referring to Lilo and Stitch as older when I remember seeing it on its opening weekend in theaters. I also remember the Elvis songs from it because my parents praised the movie for using them to the point of buying the soundtrack and playing it constantly. I think it's from the silent generation dying out. The Beatles, Led Zeppelin, Queen, etc. are still culturally relevant because of the large number of boomers still alive. Elvis is fading due to silent generation dying out. The last major Elvis reference I can think of was Fallout New Vegas, and they didn't even use his music. College kids right now are cycling through the Zeppelin, Stones, Floyd, Ramones, King Crimson, etc. album art shirts. It's finally become grandpa music. Even the classic rock stations have transitioned nearly entirely to 80s hair metal instead of the older stuff. I guess the next generation is gonna be wearing rad tees. A couple billion people. My god, I hope sending documents by fax will be gone. Samurai, Abe Lincoln, and fax machines all existed at the same time. Only one survived, and it will outlast us all. Clint Eastwood. Ironically, he's always played Old Man Eastwood since the late 80s. He's been old for longer than he was young. One day the Beastie Boys will become the Beastie Boy. One lonely Beastie I be, all by myself without nobody. Free drinking water is a big maybe. Where I live, tap water is not safe to drink, so no water fountains. Restaurants will charge you for a glass of water, and buying water for the week is just as essential as groceries. Not complaining though, because I've seen places in other parts of the world go weeks without running water, let alone drinkable. Nestle is interested in speaking with you. Toilet paper. We will figure out how to use the 3 shells. He doesn't know how to use the 3 seashells. What if 3 seashells is just the winning company in the B-Day wars? Well, at least we know Taco Bell will be around. A good chunk of the people reading this, which chunk of me is going to disappear? The name Karen. Your youth and most likely your parents. Don't take either for granted today. I'm 49 and I know things. As a millennial with parents who had me pretty late, I felt this. They weren't perfect parents, but losing either one of them would be a somber experience. Thanks for the reminder. I'm a millennial and my dad was born in 1941. He died about 2 years ago from Parkinson's. I'm not ready to lose my mom quite yet. 95% of all current cryptocurrencies/blockchain projects. My period. My cats. Nonsense. My cat Huxley and I have agreed that he will live at least another 50 years. Australians. I feel like the emus are about to strike you guys again. Who says we're only going to strike Australians? You fiendish bastards. Have you ever been in the outback? Have you ever seen it? No, because it's just thousands of miles of barbed wire and trenches to keep them contained. That's what the government doesn't want you to know. Betty White. I love that adorable old lady with my whole heart, but I don't know how much longer she has. She's 99. Realistically, 5 to 10 years would be super optimistic. She's great and it will suck when she's gone, but she lived a fuller life than just about anyone ever, so hopefully it's quick and peaceful for her and her family when it does eventually happen. Reddit. All websites like this die eventually. How am I gonna be able to check this post for accuracy? Grab some popcorn and sit and scroll Reddit till it doesn't work. I'm pushing 10 years here. It ain't the early century. Sites are less ephemeral now. Just like FB will probably hang in there forever. Places like this evolved into a formula that works. And as far as I can tell, Reddit has only gotten more and more popular over the last 5 years. When checking Reddit is essentially part of a daily routine for millions and millions of people, I doubt it's going anywhere soon. DVDs. People will still collect them. There are people who still collect VHS tapes and cassettes. I've reverted to DVDs for all my favorite films for one big reason. Director's commentary. It is beyond me why Netflix and others don't have commentary tracks as an option. Brendan Fraser's commentary on The Mummy is effing gold, and it's like a lost artifact now. Not for me. Can't beat physical media that you actually can touch and physically own. Endangered animals. Currently endangered animals will no longer exist, but there will be plenty more newly endangered animals. Me. You. Queen Elizabeth. You sure you're gonna be cursed for this? It's treason to plan or imagine the death of the monarch. Off with your head. Nashi's immortal bro. Helium balloons. WWII vets/Holocaust survivors, which will probably make it that much easier for deniers. History repeats itself. My great uncle is 99. He was shot down in a B-17, parachuted into a Dutch beet field, and hid there until the Germans gave up looking. Dutch underground kept him safe for 3 weeks, handed him off to the Belgians, who got him to England for repatriation. He was sea kayaking until about 5 years ago. He's still mentally sharp, but is starting to have health issues. He says thank God he can drink wine with thickener added. My grandma is 97, and he was a medic. His second wife just passed away, but luckily he is still pretty sharp too. The Maldives. Privacy. Venice. Hopefully the 5-day work week will no longer exist. Sharks. They are endangered, even though they aren't dangerous to humans. They kill about 10 humans per year and a majority of it is accidental. They are smart, curious creatures that really deserve more love. They are also important for the ecosystem.